and I just kind of slid into it. I am studying the first natural disaster of the American Empire. Specifically, I'm looking at the relief effort that was organized by the U.S. government and kind of how the U.S. government interacted with other relief agencies, specifically nonprofits and Puerto Rican actors. And so this is a natural disaster relief effort following a hurricane in Puerto Rico in 1899. And I came into this actually thinking when I first arrived in graduate school that I would be studying Francophone decolonization or the French Empire. And so I knew initially that I wanted to do something with the Francophone Caribbean. I thought about studying the volcanic eruption of Mount Pelée in 1902, and I was looking around for kind of a potential comparative study for this in case I wanted to do kind of comparative natural disaster relief effort study. And I kind of stumbled upon an article on this hurricane and thought it was much more historically interesting, opened up way more questions than I was expecting, and so I stuck with it because it really just captured me. I think it's important to draw attention to the Alliance Fellowship, which was offered to us by Columbia University. All of us were recipients of this. It really just made these fantastic, unbelievable summers of research possible. We had 4 months to do these really, really ambitious projects. And so for myself, I mean, I didn't go to Madagascar or Argentina, but I did end up it paid first for me to go to the National Archives and Records Administration in Washington, D.C., which was just fantastic. They had an entire box in the War Department's files on my hurricane that had been untouched to my knowledge. You open it up and just dust pours out, and to find handwritten documents by Elihu Root and Clara Barton is just, I mean, it was a wonderful, wonderful introduction to my summer of research. And then following this, I was able to spend a month in the Dominican Republic taking Spanish classes because as I had mentioned previously, my background is in French, and so my French is pretty solid, so Spanish came very quickly, especially since I took a course at Columbia called Rapid Reading and Translation, which in a semester you run through about 4 years worth of Spanish grammar, and then at the end you take the translation examination, and I believe everyone in our class ended up passing. So in theory I spoke Spanish, but it was nice to actually be able to take a legitimate course. Oh, it also paid for, while I was doing my secondary research in the United States, it paid for a month and a half of private Spanish classes on Skype. So I was able to prepare for my month at the Dominican Republic prior to this. And so while there, I took Spanish. I checked out the archives in the Dominican Republic. Not very much there, but it was worth a shot. And then I also was able to take Haitian Creole, just because I'm interested in the Caribbean in general. And so I took private Creole and private Spanish lessons while there, and then actually was able to take a trip to Haiti as well. And then following that, I was able to go to Puerto Rico for 2 weeks and work in the archives there, in the National Archives as well as the Catholic Church Archives, all of which proved very helpful. Oh, and also the Alliance Fellowship also paid my ticket to go to an academic conference, which was my first. And so this was in Austin, Texas, the Fault Lines Conference hosted by the Institute of American Studies there. And it was on people from different fields studying the impact of natural disasters and how this can be studied in the humanities.